Alright, I am still messing with the Black Zenith. I decided to try out the Stampede boots, not for the base movement speed value, but for the cooldown reduction of travel skills using FrostBlink with that setup. Second Wind is kind of pointless with it. I'm not even sure it works. It don't even work. I just threw it in there for the giggles. It's in there for the giggles, and that's it. It's a no walk build. So actually, let's put on attack and then make attack. Well, you can't make attack, not attack. Oh well, we'll just put walk on. It's a no walk build. You don't walk. So that way you can channel your winter orb and then blink around so your winter orb stays channeling. Because when you stop channeling it, it has a big ass cooldown from Zenith. So this is the plan. You channel, you warp, you channel, you warp. It's going to be an extremely fast build, as you can see, with the speed of this frost blinking. Look at that. Look, way more effective than walking from point A to point B. This is definitely the build you want to be doing. Now, my 6th link, you would think, oh, why don't you put Vortex in the 6th link? No. No. Why would I make a build good? Vortex, overused. It's too good. It's an instant skill. So instead, I got cast when damage taken with a low-level critical strike chance support, Hydrosphere, Frost Wall? Why the hell would you use Frost Wall? You know why? I don't... Reasons? Frozen Legion? This whole thing, increased duration support, this whole thing is for the memes. This is for fun. Let's just have a little fun with this 6 link because we don't need a 6 link. We got a 4 link. Now, Aegis Aurora, Shimmeron. Why am I using Shimmeron? Because it's like the best wand that I got. I ain't got a better wand. I got, oh no, my wand sold, I think. I have a lightning wand, or scepter rather. I have a lightning scepter somewhere in my stash, but it's for lightning skills. Right there, I got a lightning scepter. I guess it could be better than the Shimmeron, but this is for lightning. And that's it. That's all I got. And if we go to my rare items, go to the wands, I ain't got a better wand. I ain't got a better mace or a scepter. I mean, maybe I could strength stack or do some cast on crit. I could do some cast on crit. I need more strength to use that one. I think I have the sword, the cast on crit sword. I need more dex to use that one, so I can't use either of those. So I'm using a Shimmeron. I am an Inquisitor who is ultra tanky, so the Shimmeron, the damage it does me is not going to do a lot. It's also not going to pump up a lot of damage. I only got 5 power charges, so you know, that's the giggles. Crown of the Inward Eye with Winter Orb has +2 to maximum stages, so that way I can get up to that 12 stages, which vanish instantly. Woo! Woo! The body armor is solid. I think it was like 10 divines for this bad boy. I figure I'm going to actually make a real build eventually using the Inquisitor, probably a cast on crit, and take it seriously and actually get a build that actually works. I'm not capped on fire resistance because I need to be able to change lightning to fire, but I don't have any juice, any delve juice, so I'll just be uncapped. Let's take a look at some of my other gear. This belt, solid. I've been using it the entire league. I bought it for like a divine, and it's my favorite belt. We're very comfortable together. We've grown together. We're attached, emotionally and sexually. The Nims ring, N-I-M-S, Nims. There's no extra I there, it's just the Nims ring. Now this amulet I bought, and I've been trying to craft something magical on this for a long time. It's got the area of effect and the area damage, and I have just not hitting good. So I hit it with a cold essence, got the cold damage, life, energy shield. This is the best I've gotten so far. That mono regen, it's kind of horseshit, but it's kind of alright. It's the best I've gotten so far. So I'm going to hold on to it for a little bit, just a little bit. This ring, it's just a life mana res ring with 17% damage. I like it. It's pretty. And as I said, the Stampede boots. So let us run a map. I just ran the first map with it right here, and it was hysterical. Someone recommended this Amulet, so I'm going to toss that in there. It is awful with Winter Orb. It works okay with the Soul Rend that I was using before, but it is pretty bad with Winter Orb. I didn't even know this thing existed, and I've never used it. Probably going to do it on a cock build. Let us run a Guardian. Droxus. Droxus is fun. What do we got here? More life, elemental weakness. I can't really do elemental weakness when my fire resistance isn't capped. But I got nothing to reroll it, so I'm doing elemental resistance with my fire res uncapped. This is going to be incredible. You guys aren't even ready for it. Channel, dash. I can't believe it kind of works. Honestly, I'm a little flabbergasted that it kind of works. Sure, I'm using the Inquisitor, which is the most broken class in the game. And it's OP AF, but it kind of works. Now, this is a playstyle that I could never do seriously. Good golly, this is boring. Just one dash around, FrostBlink around, never die, ever, and then get a big old thumb cramp because you're holding down. Well, for me, it's thumb mouse button, right mouse button. Just holding that down, holding down the fort. Inquisitor is just so strong, it just kind of doesn't really die very easily. And when you get to a boss, you could just stop FrostBlinking, and you just kill it. It just kills things. Let's FrostBlink on that. It's kind of stupid. It's kind of stupid. It's kind of very stupid that it works. There's my frost wall. Look at that frost wall. Incredible frost wall. Oh, it has a flaw. I think it's when I block with my shield, it has an interruption. I get interrupted. So in order to do this build, full justice, full memification, you're probably going to need to be a jug or something where you can not get stunned or interrupted in any way. There's probably a way, I don't know. I've never played a caster. There's probably a way. On the passive tree, you have this that says 25% chance to avoid interruptions from stuns while casting, but I don't think that counts from blocks. So I don't know. I do not know if that counts from blocks. This build is hysterical. It absolutely works. If you don't mind going extremely slow and not doing a lot of damage, and then not having your wife love you anymore. If those are your goals, this build, solid to the core. Extremely, extremely good build for that. I would like to be able to turn it to a kind of an aura stacker, because using Arctic armor just seems like it makes sense. But I don't have enough mana at the moment to use Arctic armor. Now, obviously, if I put Vortex on my 6-link, it's just a standard cold dot build that with Inquisitor that works. Cold dot is just always going to work. Oh, look how slow it is inside of this bubble. That's hysterical. The bubble slows down the cooldown even more. This is my first time playing Winter Orb. It's kind of badass. Not gonna lie. Not my playstyle. I don't like it. But the skill is freaking awesome. Now with the Nims ring, if you see, it bounces. I can't tell if all of them are bouncing back to me, but I'm pretty sure they are all bouncing back to me. So when you're on the center, if you look real closely, you can see a little light. Let's zoom in. You can see I'm pointing at my monitor with my hand, guys. You can kind of see that they're bouncing back to me. There's a little, like, yellow clear thing, and you can see underneath me. I can't tell how many are bouncing back, but it definitely looks like a lot of them are bouncing back at me, which creates a lot of damage. Now imagine if you get a lot of AoE, you put this as an occultist, and you do the AoE stuff with all of the, It's super weird, though, how it, like, changes its color. It's white when it goes out, but it's this weird yellow-looking thing when it comes back to you. You guys see what I'm talking about? Those little yellow things? If we get a serious builder here, I think this is a build. Like, a legitimately broken build if it's working like I think it does. Which is, every one of these projectiles bounces out, returns, and they hit in the middle, and then they all overlap. And if you get it tight enough, it's all probably going to overlap. So you're probably going to get so many hits. And you use greater multiple projectiles. Let's pop that. What have I added? Cold damage support. Let's throw greater multiple projectiles in there. Let us throw a greater multiple projectiles. Reduce the damage a bit. Let's put you guys down here. Let's do another Coxus. Coxus. Recovery rate. Definitely can't do recovery rate. Spell suppress, reflect fizz. That's all fine. Buffs on player expire 70% faster. I think that's fine. I don't think that's going to affect any of my sheet. Oh, I need that atoll map. Hell yeah. I don't even know what that shrine does. Smoke shrouds you. I guess it increases my evasion. God, the Inquisitor is such a broken class. Running with, like... I guess it's not clown defenses. My defenses are pretty solid. But so easy to get just ultra tanky with an Inquisitor. See, I lost my charges there. Lost my charges again. I can just FrostBlink around and kill everything. It's got to be the blocks. I guess I can get stunned as well. Not stun immune, so it could be stuns, but I think it's the blocks. I need to do less damage so I can, like, experiment more. With the overlaps. Alright, I'm not gonna warp on this guy. I'm just gonna stand on him. But it keeps moving. And I keep losing my channeling. Well, that's annoying. The block is annoying. I wonder if I can build it without Aegis Aurora and still be tanky and just do Grace instead. Or just play it as a jug without block. Yeah, that was really awkward because he kept hitting me. Let's put here and see if using Q instead of right click is better. I wonder if I hold it, if it will auto start channeling. Nope, it doesn't auto start channeling if I hold the Q. I have to re-tap it. It is so awkward, and I hate every second of playing this. Alright, we got the boss. He just interrupted my channeling. Is it overlapping? It definitely is interrupting my channeling. I cannot tell if the spells, I just wigged out, the spells are like bouncing back. How many of them are bouncing back? They bounce back when they hit a wall, that's for sure. That I know. But when they're not hitting walls, are they bouncing back? Zoom in. See my core. Oh, interrupted, of course. I mean, it looks like a lot of them are bouncing back. If you look right at my core, kind of looks like a lot of them are bouncing back. I think I'm getting a ton, and I don't even have any AoE. I'm getting a, oh yeah, they're definitely, when you get a hold still and you're not being interrupted, they're definitely overlapping in the core from the Nims ring. That is a cool interaction. I give that interaction a 10 out of 10. Winter Orb with Nims, 10 out of 10. I could do it without the Zenith gloves, and it'll just be slick. Slickety rickety. Obviously, I have to set up a build to do that, and I'm not quite going to do it just yet. But the black Zenith gloves is just something I'm experimenting with. There's a legitimate build here with Winter Orb and these this ring. Probably, I mean, the Inquisitor is amazing across the board. But it might be better as an Occultist, just for the power charges, the crit, and the AoE that you can get with an Occultist. Let's drop the shield and see if I'm being stunned. Obviously, I'm not going to run a Guardian map with the shield drop. I don't see why not to run a Guardian map with the shield drop. Just run a Constrictor. I don't remember what the Constrictor is, but 2 unique bosses. 48% more life. Consecrated ground. That's going to make them regen. Yeah, let's do that. That seems like it's going to be a difficult map. Now, you real crafters, not your memers, the real crafters out there, hopefully your brains are cooking. Hopefully you're thinking about a way to turn this into something nutty. Not something memey like I'm doing, like all I do, but something actually good. Now let's see if it's the shield block that's interrupting me or if it's the stuns. No interruption yet. And Shimmeron might actually be a pretty solid choice. Okay, I think I got interrupted. Either got interrupted or I unclicked it. It's hard to say. Exhilarating. Now, if I did less damage, I'd be much faster because my Winter Orb is kind of killing all the enemies before I get to teleport on them. And I get a cooldown reduction when I teleport on them. If you run the right maps, any maps with walls, them sweet, soft meat walls, you're going to get a lot of bounce back from the Nims ring. I mean, look at that. Look at it bouncing back and hitting that core. Obviously, it's useless because you just kill everything so quickly anyways. Oh, I'm able to die without my shield. Yeah, I was able to determine that block is half of the reason. The other half is I am getting stunned. I don't really have any stun immunity. I have this right here for my stun. Can't be stunned more than twice every 2 seconds. I don't really know what to do to get stun immunity. Typically, anytime I want stun immunity, I just pick either a Trickster or a Jug, and then I got stun immunity. Let's try out this amulet. Now, I read it, but I didn't understand it until I actually saw it in action. Modifiers to the number of projectiles instead apply to the number of target projectiles split towards. So it's split towards, basically forks, towards other enemies, but it only has one projectile. With the Nims is not any good at all, because the Nims shoot in random directions. And I'm going to say Nims ring as much as possible, because some pedantic little fucking nerd in my comments decided he wanted to try to correct me, as if there's a correct way to pronounce something made up and fake. I guess all words are made up and fake, so there's no point in pronunciating anything or saying anything correctly. I could just say no cap and, damn it, based. Or cap and based. Cap means bad, based means good. This, based ring that I'm using, I'm trying to be funny. It's not working. And I died. What are these guys doing to kill me? That's annoying. Now I gotta walk all the way. I'm not gonna do it. It's a Guardian map, but it ain't worth it. I'll start from scratch, because I don't want to walk all that way again. Let's just do an atoll. I just want to demonstrate this amulet. See how it's just shooting one? One little thing. I'm sure this is not new to anybody. I'm sure everybody's already seen this amulet. They knew it existed, but I didn't know it existed. It is absolutely awful with Winter Orb, and I don't even think Winter Orb is splitting. I don't think it's splitting properly. The guy who recommended me try it out wanted me to try it for a different skill, and it worked with the other skill, the Soul Rend. I'm basically fighting this guy with cast on crit because he keeps interrupting my spell. There we go. Nope, he stunned me again. Here, let me channel it from over here. Alright, I'm over you. I can't fight you. Yeah, I can't tell. I don't think it's splitting. I don't think it's working with Winter Orb. It'd be even more hilarious. Never mind, he didn't know I was going to use Winter Orb. I'd say it'd be more hilarious if he knew it wouldn't work with Winter Orb and told me to use the amulet. Because, of course, I'm a jackass, and I bought a higher-end one for 50C instead of just getting a cheap one. And then before I even used it, I anointed it with Charisma, 2 golds, and an Opalescent. Oh, yeah, that is so bad. It's hysterical. Now, let's run something that's a little less hysterical with that. I'm a cold build, but I'm going to grab the Soul Rend just so we could see what it looked like with Soul Rend. Soul Rend, biggity boop, and then let's do Frostbolt. Is it Bolt? Frostbolt, yeah. Let's start with Frostbolt. Actually, you know what? I got plenty of damage. Let's just do both. We don't need critical damage. We do Frostbolt there, Soul Rend here. Let's get back in there. This is another kind of interesting thing you could do with. See, that is cool. You can just put multiple skills in for these gloves too, which is another thing I was thinking. Instead of doing damage modifiers, because you do 150% more damage, you just put 3 different skills in it. See how it splits off? That's pretty cool. course, it's kind of hard to hit someone. Makes it a little easier with Nims, but you can just totally whiff. See, whiff. Let's see how many times it takes. Whiff. I got him with the frostbolt. Whiff. Oh, I got him. So on its own, it's not very cool, but with the cast on crit setup using this amulet, it might be kind of radical. Might be kind of radical, throwing balls everywhere. Double whiff. Now, obviously, a cast on crit setup would be pretty rad with these gloves as well. Whiff. Oh, this is totally a doable build. This is a build for the ages. That's how strong this build is. Do I still have Winter Orb? Yeah, let's put Winter Orb. Let's actually kill the guy. Oh, I still have this ring on. This amulet on. Let's actually kill the guy. I'm getting knockback from somewhere, and that's a mistake. I need knock towards, not knockback. So that was this experiment. I'm not sure I'm done with the black Zenith gloves. I think I'm done for now. I think I might actually do a real cock build. Next, the Stampede was an okay idea, but I really thought 80% cooldown reduction would be more than it is. I thought that this dashing would be quite a bit faster. And I'd be able to channel and just dash around. It works okay in the delve. Let's run a delve real quick. It's actually, I think I have a couple big boy delves that are ready. Let's run a big boy delve. Yeah, I got these ice ones. I got these ones ready. Let's run a big boy delve. This is pretty cool for delve. Because there's a lot of walls in delve. A lot of soft and warm, moist meat walls that you can shoot off and it bounces back. But again, once you get to a certain damage point, doing more damage is kind of pointless. Unless you're like Uberin. More damage just becomes like a E-peen type of sitch. Once you get above, I don't know, 8 million, the extra damage becomes pretty pointless. I don't like that FrostBlink kind of seems to have like a minimum fixed distance. I can't like FrostBlink just a tiny hair in front of me. Makes FrostBlink a little awkward to use. Let's go back here and let it recharge. All right. Now let's blink around. Let's get blinking. Abe blinking. Just kind of hang out, wait for Winter Orb to come back. For a split second there, you saw just a ton of damage hit right on the core. Right on the core of my being. So I think, in order to make this like a real build, I know it's not a real build ever. There's nothing you do to turn it a real build, but I think massive AoE would help for FrostBlink because you would hit so many more enemies with your extra AoE. Like your big old thick boy AoE would be pretty slick. But it just erases existence for all of these boys. These boys exist, and then they don't. Ooh, burial chambers. Tasty. Alright, now let's run like a right here, let's go get this currency for regular delve. A non-temple. Or whatever those things are. Outpost. I'm still a little sad that I didn't get to play Delve League. Though I'm grateful I didn't get to play Bestiary. Because throwing traps at enemies seems sus. And they're nutting traps about me. I don't mess with traps. It would be cool if there's a way to get it to shoot farther out. That random damage over time on the ground that you can't see, but it's totally there. If anyone is still around in this video, congrats. You made it all the way towards the end of this production. And at the end of this production, I'm talking about the build, even though it's not a build, it's just an experiment. Let me tell you what I did. I got this bad boy, mostly for dex. He gives me some life here, he gives me some life here, but he gives me 20 dex there, and then dex on all the travel nodes, because I need a bit of dex. So I did it. Also, 25% crit strike, 5% movement, 20 dex here. Wouldn't have normally got this, but I needed the dex. And, you know, I really hate grabbing these 30 dex nodes or futzing with dex on your thing. Large cluster jewel, elemental damage. I didn't have a cold. I didn't really want to roll a cold for the extra 2%. And this one has chaos resistance, which is pretty solid. I'm not igniting, so I'm losing out on 20% damage here because I'm not igniting. I could throw some fire on, but, you know, a little difficult. So I got 2 cluster jewels. I think both of them are pretty similar. Oh, this is a spell one for spell damage. This is probably where my knockback is coming. Spell block seems pretty good. I needed that hinder. Spell damage leech is energy shield, so I got both life and energy shield leech for my spell damage. 8% chance to knock back enemies on hits with spell damage. That's where my knockback is coming. Fettle, one of my favorite nodes. It's just a big old chunk of life. It's super good. It's super based. I'll just say based instead of good because that's what the kids like to hear. Righteous Path, also based. 10% increase effect of concentrated ground. Based. Minimum power charges. This whole power node. Kind of wasted. I'm only getting 2 power charges, putting it a total of 5. Kind of wasted, but I'm using a Shimmeron, so it's there. I could be more based and get more power charges. Corrupt this, get one of these as corrupted, so instead of +2 to auras, I can get +1 to power charge, be more based that way. Getting here for the block, which is based, call damage, which is based, crit, which is based, and then these nodes are all based. This is all based. I could modify some things. I went this way because cold and lightning, because the Shimmeron adds some lightning, and then increased damage. That's pretty based. But I could have also went low life. But I didn't want to mess with the aura situation to get enough mana to low life it. I didn't want to mess with any of that. Low life would do 30% more damage, but I already had plenty of damage. So that would be not based. Or cap. That would be cap. And then this is based. How I have it's based. And obviously the standard Inquisitor run. Some people don't do this one, and they just stick to this one, but those people are wrong in everything they've done in their entire lives. Max block. 75, 75. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. But I guess I overcap a little because of this when I'm casting a spell. And verify it's even working. Cast a spell. I don't. Maybe it has to hit somebody. Now let's go to the POB. I mostly just want to kind of see what my effective hit points is, because it's pretty high. I don't know what pretty high means, but, you know, it seems pretty high. One pious mofo. Calcs, configuration. I am not. Let's do always on full energy shield. I don't know what that does, but I'm always on full energy shield. Power charges, definitely used. Don't fortify. I'm not chilled. I'm not frozen. I have crit recently. Enemies are chilled. Enemies are shocked. I have cast recently. Enemy is chilled. Enemy is shocked. Let's give him one shock. I think that... I don't know if this matters anymore, putting it to Pinnacle Boss, but I think it do. 34,000 effective hit pool. Chaos being my weakest node at 5,600 chaos hit. So I need to amp up that chaos raise. Now let's take a look at these skills. Winter Orb. Enable full deeps. Let's do Winter Orb. Let's put this at a 12. And it says 181,000. It's times 12, essentially. Overlapping like crazy. So just add a 0. So it's like 1.8 millis. 1.8 millis if I'm getting my overlaps right, which I'm not fully because of the AoE. That is the build. Not the build. It's not a build. That is the experiment. Black Zenith. Someone linked in my Discord. This build. It's all in gibberish, non-American. You gotta have American language now. Come on now. It's far. This is actually a build. What he's doing, I don't see his Winter Orb. Like, I don't see his Winter Orb casting anything, because it's just so weird. It just barely casts. He does so much damage, so it's hard to see the Winter Orb. But he's got cast while channeling to Lightning Warp. I didn't click his path to building. I just want to see what he's doing based on it. But his gear is probably pretty lit, and he's just melting everything. So his build is pretty solid. I figured I'd give it a shout out since, you know, he posted it in my Discord. He really is wrecking everything. So if you want an actual build using Black Zenith, this guy's got one set up. And the Lightning Warp setup with it is pretty cool. It's a similar idea to mine, but good. So if you take this idea and you make it not based, or cap, you make this build cap, then you got my build. But obviously, unless you speak gibberish, or read gibberish, you're not going to know what's going on. I think he fights a Maven. Yeah, he's fighting a Maven here. Wrecks the Maven. And then I don't know what else he does. Pretty solid build. I figure I'd give it a preview. Oh, we got some I don't even think they split. Anywho, that is the video. You guys, take it easy. Oh, you guys want to see my how to win the ladies right here? This is Seduction 101. Those are camo Crocs. Can I full screen this? This is what my drip is today. Camo Crocs, a big robe blanket thing, and Goku socks. Goku socks, camo Crocs. This is how you get married for 20 years. That's how you do it. You want to get married for 20 years. Camo Crocs, Goku socks, blanket robe thing. You're good to go. You are good to go.